spare a moment for me?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude.
No, dear, I realize how uncomfortable it is for you to come here.
Well, it's certainly not your fault. You've made this as easy as possible.
We're all very concerned about you, as is Father McShane.
Oh?
Yes, he said that he saw you briefly in church yesterday, and he wondered if I knew why he hadn't seen you there before. He said you looked very upset. I, frankly, was at a loss as to what to say. I gather you haven't told him that you've been living with Ben,
No, I haven't.
Don't you think it would be appropriate if that information came from you?
I suppose so, Maeve, but it's not easy for me to talk to him right now.
Oh? Well, it used to be quite easy.
Maeve, I went to that church to pray. I sat down, I saw Mac, and suddenly I felt like the world's biggest hypocrite, and I couldn't stay there any longer.
Why in the world would you feel hypocritical?
Because I don't belong there. I don't deserve to sit in that pew and pretend that I'm a good person.
What is a good person?
Someone who lives up to the church's standards. I can't do that.
Are those the church's standards or your standards, dear? I mean, what kind of an impossible test do you set for yourself here?
Well, isn't the church about striving to become better and better?
Yes, better, but not perfect. There's not a person in this world that's ever reached perfection. I mean, the church is with us, dear, for precisely the kind of struggle that you're going through right now.
I know, and I don't want their help.
Why on earth not?
Because I know what that'll mean. That'll mean not living with Ben. So why should I sit there and pretend one thing when I know I'm going to do something else?
Well, that sounds all very tidy, but it seems to me maybe something else is involved here.
No, I don't think so. I was afraid the church wasn't for me, and I guess I was right.
Lizzie, when are you going to get over this terrible anger?
I've tried. But I'm still angry at John.
Yes, dear, but are you extending the anger that you feel toward John to everything that you associate with him? I mean, such as this family and your religion?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know. It may be that you think John has failed you and hurt you, and that the church is going to do the same.
No, I'll fail the church.
There's not a soul that's had religion in their lifetime that hasn't failed at one point or another. I mean, as far as the Catholic Church is concerned, that goes from the Holy Father on down. I mean, we all fail. I mean, that's human. That's why we're so in need of grace. The church doesn't abandon us because we're in trouble, dear. Of course, I mean, you can choose to abandon it.
It just hurts too much to be there. I want to see Odie now.
All right, dear, I don't mean to pressure you. I just want you to know that you're not alone.
It's a pretty heavy letter. But it's obvious that he's given it a great deal of thought.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. So, how do we proceed?
Well, no-fault divorce means that you don't have to prove there was marital misconduct. So, it's pretty simple. You both mutually agree to separate.
But I don't agree.
You don't?
No, Jill, I don't. I want you to help me fight this.
Why would you want to fight this?
Why? Because it's wrong. We're married, we made vows to each other, and just because he wants to abandon them doesn't mean I'm going to.
Ryan, it is so obvious that he doesn't want this marriage. Why would you want to stay in that kind of relationship?
Because once he gets over this crazy notion of me becoming the ideal wife, he'll realize how much he loves me in spite of our differences, and I'm going to change his mind. I'm not willing to let go.
I don't think he's left this open for discussion.
My dad wanted to leave my mom, right? She kept them together by hanging on.
Ryan, that was different. That was them. This is you and Rick. And besides, they were older.
So what?
So maybe you should reread this letter and understand that Rick felt that the two of you were too young to be married.
Oh, Jill, if I hear that one more time, I'm going to scream. I'm not 7 years old. I'm 19, and I know my own mind.
Yes, and I think he knows his. Don't you understand some of what he says makes a whole lot of sense?
I just can't believe you're taking his side.
I'm not. Believe me, it's not that. Don't you know, I understand the last year and a half has been so tough for you. It has been really rough.
So marriage is rough.
Brian, you had to make so many adjustments. How many times did you come to me and say, marriage is a struggle?
Well, Jill, life is a struggle, and it doesn't mean I'm going to give up.
No. No, but I think you should be brave enough to think that maybe all the struggling came out of the fact that you were both too young to be married.
Look, nobody told me that marriage was going to be easy. They said it was going to be very hard, and they were right. But I accepted that. And I just think that I've invested too much in the relationship to just let it go.
What about your life? What about the rest of your life? Are you going to waste that on something that is lost?
How can you call my marriage lost? All I want is my husband back. What is so wrong?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. You are so much like your mother and father. You are so stubborn.
I'm not stubborn. Look, it's just very hard to admit that my entire marriage might have been a mistake, that's all.
I know that.
I mean, how could we have been so wrong?
You weren't wrong. You were not wrong. You were in love, very much in love. Don't you understand it was the marriage that was wrong? Is this making any sense?
No. No, it's not. I feel abandoned, and I feel betrayed, and I feel mad. You know, I mean, I don't believe this. Why couldn't he have been strong enough to hold on?
Brian, please, don't hold on for holding on's sake. You've got to think about all the sacrifices you made, all the struggling, all the incompatibility. I'm not going to do anything legally until you do. All right?
How's Ben? Good, good. He's out looking for work.
I guess you two are getting along famously then, huh?
Yeah, we are.
That's really nice, Lizzie.
Yeah, it is. In fact, we've decided to make it permanent. I'm moving in with him and giving up my apartment.
Oh, that's swell.
I'm glad you think so. We're very happy together.
Oh, good. You know, a young couple like you should be very happy.
Thank you.
Well, I guess this is a monumental decision for you to make, so you're going to have to celebrate. Lizzie, where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere. We're both working, remember?
Oh, is he painting?
No. He may be getting a construction job. He doesn't know where yet.
Oh, that's too bad. That doesn't sound very promising.
Well, that's the way it works, so. Excuse me. Hello?
Hello. I need to speak to one, Delia. Is this the correct number I should be calling?
Yes, it is.
Tell her it's, Miss Kitty.
A Miss Kitty?
Miss Kitty.
Miss Kitty!
Yeah, listen, Lizzie, there's some scarves outside. Just unload them, okay?
Okay.
Right out there.
All right.
Boxes of them. Why are you calling me here? Are you trying to blow the whole operation?
Cool your jets. I use the French accent.
There is no end to your talents. What do you want?
I was just checking in. I figured you, might be looking for me. And, I was out.
Out? Out where?
I got the urge to do a little shopping.
How little?
Well, you said I could get whatever I wanted.
There is a limit.
Don't worry, I watched your budget. And believe me, when Ben sees me in these little numbers, his little baby blues are gonna pop right out of his head. So when do we get started? I sure am anxious to see old Ben.
Well, not today. Things aren't quite in alignment yet.
Oh, are you into astrology?
You just sit tight and I'll let you know. Can you do that?
I'll try.
Tomorrow on the ABC After School Special, her mother wanted her to have it all, but she wanted something else. It's not easy being Supermom's daughter. And tomorrow night, John Ritter's romantic dinner date has his apartment house super steaming on Hooperman, followed by Dabney Coleman in the Slat Maxwell story.